In a bold move to address rising societal issues linked to the neglect of boy child, the Yargote Foundation for Children, Youth and Development has redirected its focus from women empowerment to educating and monitoring boys in underdeserved communities. Speaking in an exclusive interview with the Premier News, the executive director and founder, Ms. Anne, explained that the shift began in 2023 after years of working with women on issues such as abuse, financial hardship, and gender-based violence.
So we decided to organize a road walk so that we can reach a wider audience. I mean, it's not everybody that will probably know about us on social media. And beyond knowing us, it's about the boy child, about the fact that he has not been given that attention, that focus that the girl child has been enjoying over the years. And so we decided to embark on that road walk because, number one, we want the men folk and everybody to even know that there is a day set aside for the boy child, because a lot of people didn't even know about the existence of that day. So beyond knowing or creating awareness about the day, we want to spark this conversation around the challenges that the boy child faces. So the significance of that work was to bring to the consciousness of people the fact that these conversations need to start, because neglecting the boy child has cost us a lot, has cost some people their lives, because women that get abused, in the course of marriage or relationships, some unfortunately don't make it out alive. And the recruitment base for most of the challenges the country as a whole is facing is the men folk or the male folk. And so we need to spark these conversations, we need to advocate for the boy child, we need to begin to take care of the issues the boy child faces so we can deplete the recruitment base for most of these challenges the country faces. The attention, the affection, the focus and the love of most families, not all, is more on the girl child. Everybody wants her to turn out better. There are people that will say, oh, we don't want her to go and embarrass us in her in-laws house, in our in-laws house. So, when she gets married, we want her to be the perfect wife and all of that. So during that upbringing stage of both genders of children, the focus, like I said earlier, is more on the girl, but the boy is left alone to chart his course, to find out a lot of things on his own. There are parents that talk to their male children, yes, but most of the parents don't. And even when they do, it's not the way that the girl child is being, brought up. So the boys will mainly learn from the streets, from their friends, from in the present world we're in now, from the internet, and from school, from their peers. So because there's this stereotype about the boy child being, having to be strong, you can't be seen to be weak and all of that. So it kind of affects the upbringing. And that's why when at the end of the day, the prepared girl child meets the unprepared boy child in that, in the marriage setting, we're bound to have problems. Because the girl has been groomed to near perfection, to discharge her duties as a wife and as a mother effectively. But when she's not getting that partnership, when she's not getting that support and that understanding from the husband, there's going to be friction. There are things she will do because the guy is not used to them. He will see it as, in Nigerian parlance, but she's overstepping her boundaries. And some will say, oh, you need to put her in her place, you need to cut her wings and all of that. But she's just exhibiting what she knows, what she has been brought up with. And because the boy did not get most of this love and attention and affection, some of them are not used to it. So the upbringing, there's that disparity in the upbringing, and so it affects the boy in the long run, is that we have to go back to the drawing board. The challenges that the boy child faces beyond the relationship with the other gender. There is the high rise in cases of substance abuse. There is a rise in cases of cybercrime, because every young boy wants to make money overnight. You don't want to wait and go through the stages of school. A lot of guys now want to join. It's not, you don't even have to cajole them to join kidnapping, banditry and all of that. They are willingly wanting to join it because it brings quick money. So we have to go back to the drawing board. We have to identify our value system. The young ones coming up need to understand that once upon a time there was something called values, and so that crime does not pay. Trying to make quick money in the long run might end your life or make you, get into prison and stuff like that. So all hands needs to be on deck, starting from the family unit. The mothers need to balance their grooming. So the affection that you're teaching the girl, the attention you're giving to her, the love and all of that, you need to extend it to the boy child as well. Then the fathers need to be the role models that the boy child would want to emulate, in the long run. And when they go to school, because it's a step-by-step approach, when they go to school, the teachers should sit up and do the right thing. Because these days we have teachers also wanting to just collect monies and pass the students. They don't care if you're working hard or not. And that's why we even have miracle centers where some parents will even pay for their children to write their exams there and get the high grades. So it's a step-by-step approach. The government needs to sit up, the policymakers need to also do their part. The curriculum needs to be tracked. We need to include, like what we do at the Yargote Foundation, we teach the boys soft skills, we do mentorship sessions and community engagement. So this is something we want to see embedded in the curriculum so that it is being taught as part of the lessons in school, and the government needs to also do its part. The policymakers are part of the government, the curriculum designers are also part of the government, but the overall, the government at the top needs to be intentional. We need to be intentional about the solutions to these issues that we're having. Otherwise, it's just going to keep getting worse. Recently I saw one retired police officer saying if he's not paid his pension and all of that, he's going to go and join Boko Haram and be an instructor. Very recently, like last week, yes, I saw it on the news. And so, crime is beginning to look lucrative. And if we don't do what we're supposed to do, everybody do what they're supposed to do. I don't know what the future holds. It's going to be a very big disaster in the very near future. With the Yargote Foundation, when we go it's a community-based approach. We go into a community and we pick the vulnerable boys that we think needs this intervention, and we spend about 6 months with them, teaching them, because it's not something for show, it's not for photo ops. We want to see a character change, we want to remold their characters, and so we spend this long time with them, teaching them soft skills, starting with self-discovery, because if they don't know who they are and understand their purpose in life, then it's just going to be the usual, an NGO came and we did some activities, took pictures, maybe shared some stuff and go. So we start with self-discovery for them. They have to be self-aware. They have to know who they are. They have to understand their history, where they are coming from, their present, what is happening at the moment, and their future. So in understanding their future, we teach them about goals. They have to design their goals, their long-term goals, their short-term goals, and their medium-term goals. And this is so because it gives them a picture when they design their goals, it gives them a picture of their future. I want to be a mechanical engineer. Okay, so these are the things you can do to achieve that goal, and these are the possible things you can engage in that will hinder you from achieving those goals. So we teach them a whole lot that will make them, become that confident and resilient young man at the end of the day, because we believe that every child have an aspiration. We don't want to lump them together and say, oh, you have to learn plumbing, or plumbing is not bad, carpentry is not bad, whatever it is. But we know that for every child, God has put in them a vision of what they want to be in the future. So what we are trying to do is to mold them to become those things, however, to be better at it. And most of the information we are putting into them now is to help them in the future, from now till the end of their lives, because they will become the leaders of tomorrow. They will become future husbands, and they will become the future fathers of the next generation. So when we mold them, mold their character, their understanding and all, it's going to flow down to their children and their children's children. The NGO was registered in 2017, like I said earlier, and we initially started work with women. But along the line, we discovered we were reacting to cases we can prevent. And so when we went back to the drawing board, we discovered that if we teach the men, we're going to reduce drastically the cases that we're having to deal with, whatever the case may be, including rape, abuses, domestic, financial, whatever kind of abuse, and VVF, all of the issues that the women have to deal with. So we decided to take on a preventive approach, which is to teach the boys to know better. So when they get to that stage that they have to be in a relationship with a woman, they can do it better. The relationship will be better for everybody involved. And beyond that, the challenges that I mentioned earlier, they will know how to navigate, against all of that. So we started the first cohort in the Kabusa community,
the ability to withstand and
which was last year. We started in July and we wrapped it up around November. We had a summit on the 21st of November, and the parents testified to the impact of the project and how improved their children have become. And this year we're going back to that community again. We've activated already, and we're going to activate in Buari and Kwali. So we're having three sites this time around, and we hope that the impact will be felt. We want the boys, whoever passes through our project, should become a peer mentor at the end of the day. So the boys around him that were not able to be part of the project will see that he's now a new or a changed person, and they want to emulate whatever it is he's exhibiting. So that's one of the major aims of the NGO. But the ultimate beneficiary of this whole thing we're doing is the woman, because now we're trying to prepare the man for a woman that has been prepared already as well, because the empowerment, the whole attention and everything is on the woman. So we're now trying to strike a balance and to break the stereotype. The major challenge will be, like I said, the funding, and that's why we're, for now, biting what we can chew, because I'm majorly funding it, and I have support of a few friends and very few organizations that have come in to chip in their widow's mite. The thing is, if we have more funding, we can, expand and get a better impact on more boys. And so that's like the major challenge, because intellectually wise, we're ready. I have a team that is super ready to discharge the duties accordingly. And so we will just want to make a call to especially Nigerians. I want us to have a homegrown solution to our problems. We don't always have to look at the foreigners or the Westerners or the international community, to take care of our problems, because when we do that, it always comes with a condition. This is our problem, and I believe strongly that we have Nigerians that, even if it is one that can single-handedly partner with us to, champion this cause and get a very great impact. So we want to call on state governments, we want to call on good-spirited individuals and organizations that can partner with us to, to open up this project to reach more boys and to have greater impact. Because I tell you what, there are people that have been affected by kidnappers, and we hear the amounts of monies that have to be paid as ransom, and some of them still get killed. Now, why wait for these boys to join the gangs or to join the kidnappers and pick you up before you cough out this money? If somebody is going to sponsor this project, you don't have to spend that much that you have to give the kidnappers, like free money, and they still kill your loved one at the end of the day. So let's put our hands together, let's fund this project, and everybody will be better off for it, I believe. Parents need to sit up. Because we work in the underserved communities, we've seen parents that don't really know what to do. They probably didn't get an education, and so they groom the boys, or they groom their children based off of what they were, or how they were groomed, and maybe how they see their neighbors doing whatever it is they are doing. So we've had cause to be with the parents a couple of times during the project last year, because whatever we teach the boys, they need to reinforce that learning at home. And there are other things we discovered that the children were engaged in. They opened up out of, because they've gained so much confidence in us, so they opened up to us, and the parents don't even know about this, because they are not paying attention to their children. So parents need to pay attention, parents need to listen to their children. In this age and time, parents need to be friends with their children. I mean, yeah, you are not your child's friend, but you need to know where that friendship starts and ends, and where parenting also starts and ends. If you don't draw your child closer, if you don't give your child that listening ear, the streets will do that. The friends out there will do that, and they will advise your child based on what they know, and oftentimes those advices might not be good advices. So parents need to listen, parents need to pay attention, they need to be interested in what the children are doing, they need to be interested in who the friends of their children are, so that they can advise them well. They also need to be interested in what the children are watching. So parents need to regulate what the children watch, because there's a lot happening on the internet that some parents cannot even sit down on their own to just watch these things, but the children are glued to it. They don't care because they don't know better. So I'll always say that anyone that knows better will act better.